On Memorial Day, we recognize the soldiers, airmen, sailors, and Marines we've lost. I make a point to ask every veteran we interview if, knowing all the pain and suffering they experienced over multiple deployments and years of hardship, and the brothers and sisters they lost along the way, would they go back and do it all again? Here's what they had to say.
Without a doubt. Don't think there's a small part of me that prays just to let me go back and do it all again. Even if I couldn't bring the guys home that we lost, just to just have a few more moments with them, to just be a little more vulnerable, hug them and say how much I loved them in the moment. And I pray for their families and the loss that they've suffered, because that's just a hole you can never fill. But I would go back and do it in a heartbeat. I'd even do all the tough training again, just to have that moment with a few of them.
Yeah, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
I would do it all over again in a second. I mean, it was a privilege. It was an honor to serve. Got to serve with some great people, and I think we probably both lost a lot of good people, lost some friends, and but man, absolutely would do it again.
Yes, 100% would do it again. The friendships for the people both that are still alive today and that I've lost, to include Bear. The people that I've met and the influences that I've been able to make in those places, it was an honor. It was my honor to be able to do that.
In a heartbeat. It wasn't easy. But yeah, all those things made me the person that I am today. I think I'm a better fighter, pilot, leader, mom, wife, you name it, because of all those hard experiences. So yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't change anything.
I don't regret my moves. I don't regret that decision. I maybe regret, some things, like when my friend told me to stay and I was like, no, I need to go home, and I didn't stay and went, and I never saw Jack again, because once our operations and everything was done in Tapka, I had like shrapnel in my leg and in my face. So I was so tired, and I was like, I need to go home and rest, because we've been out here for almost a year now. And I remember clearly he just looked at me and was like, please bro, don't go, and I left. So and I never saw him again. So those type of things I regret. But my decisions to be there, to fight these guys, no, I don't regret. I would have done it again tomorrow and over tomorrow and tomorrow.
100%. Yeah, had I not done it, I think that, I'm 51 now, and had this war going on and I hadn't been a part of it, I feel as though I would always kind of be looking back going, man, what if I would have done something like that? Could I have done something?
And when I meet young officers and cadets, I'm like, nobody I consider a friend would not trade to be in your boots today.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, and I laugh and I'll say, now I'd like to go into your boots with your body, my knowledge, and my paycheck, but I'd go straight up too. If it's just going straight up, I'll go straight up and try it again. But that's what you miss. You miss those like-minded, committed people that have shared experiences, or at least step forward for the same shared sacrifice. Yeah.
It's the 10th anniversary of one of our buddies got killed, and so there's a memorial race for him. So I'm going to go get guys from my platoon. I haven't seen in forever, and these are people that I never would have had the chance to meet before. So no, I wouldn't change anything. I would do it all over again.
She goes, well, was it worth it? And I looked at her and went, was it worth it? I said, hell yeah, I'd do it all over again. I said, the thing I miss the most is the camaraderie. I miss the guys. Yeah. I miss the family, the closeness of what we did together. They are more brothers than really my own brothers, just because of what we went through all those times.
Yeah, no question. Experiences I've had to date, all the things I've learned, all the people I've met, irreplaceable, right? And invaluable.
I'd definitely do it over. I loved every minute, every assignment I had in the military. I thought was the best assignment I've ever had, all the way up to the end. I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't joined the military and served.
I would say I would do it again, but I will take my lessons learned.
Well, I would definitely do it again. And one of the things I always say, I really wish there was some way I could do it. It's ridiculous to say it, but I really wish I could go back and do the same things, but do the things with the knowledge that I have now, and then fix the mistakes that I made along the way. Because there is stuff I wish I could go back and do. Like when I said when I left Syria the second time, like if I could go back to that moment in time, I would have chosen to stay and like work to try and find some other friends that I knew that were still over there and stayed with them to go into Raqqa. And every day that like still bites at me that I didn't stay for the city like offensive. And because of that, like I have to think about like the repercussions from that decision. Like a lot of my friends died in that. So I always like feel like I chose the coward's way out, like realistically, like in terms of like thinking back to that moment. So like if I had the opportunity, I'd say I'd definitely want to go back into it and find a group of friends that I could have gone into it with.
On Memorial Day, I remember Tim Brenneman, Terry Thomas, and Jason McCormick. And I'm struck by this quote by Teddy Roosevelt that feels very fitting for this occasion. It says, "Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering." Happy Memorial Day. Stay safe.